Hey family, welcome to my channel. It's Willa, the Abundant Life Coach, and today we're diving into my first official recap of the Great Lock-In of 2025. Can you believe it's already been a full 7 days? Like, wow, really? So listen, I've learned some things, I've stumbled a few things, I've already decided on some changes moving forward. I'm gonna explain to you why I did this. I kicked off the Great Lock-In because I wanted to create a sacred space to reset my mind, my body, my spirit, and of course, my goals. This was about eliminating distractions, focusing on my wellness, and really holding myself accountable to the commitments I've been putting off. And believe me, I've been putting them off for a while. Week 1 has been a test. A real big test, y'all, for real. But you know what they say, you can't have a testimony without a test, right? It's been a test of discipline, it's been a test of patience, and definitely a test of focus. Let's go over what I learned in the past 7 days, right? These are my top 3 lessons so far. And when I tell you they took me through the ringer, y'all, like seriously. The first thing I learned is discipline is a muscle. And just like every other muscle in your body, you can't expect for it to just show up strong. You gotta really work it, stretch it, and sometimes it's very painful. It's painful because the fact that if you are trying to hone in on your discipline and it's been something that you've been working on, it definitely gets hard. It gets hard because you have to figure out, okay, what am I gonna do and what am I not gonna do? What is non-negotiable and what is negotiable? And it's hard sometimes to tweak that. That's what makes the discipline so hard. But you gotta keep working on it. Like I said, it's like a muscle. You gotta work it on it. You gotta stretch it. You gotta pull it together. Work that muscle, just like any muscle in the body. The second thing that I definitely learned was rest is not weakness. So I've been so honed in and so just focused, laser focused on getting my goals done and get them down. One of my biggest breakthroughs was realizing that I can still rest. You know, it's actually part of the grind because the fact that you can't run on fumes 24/7. You can't. You definitely need to get rest. But you know, your mind is so focused on your goals that you feel resting is getting off scale. Because I know I did. It was difficult at some time for me to put everything down, shut everything down, and prepare for my evening routine because it felt like I wasn't being productive. But you got to remember, rest is not weakness. It is not going off of your plan. It is helping you to move forward. You need the rest. And number 3, your environment matters. If your environment is chaotic, loud, just not in a peaceful state, it's going to cause you to get distracted. Keeping my environment peaceful kept me on track. So I live in a neighborhood where there are a lot of children. And unfortunately, I'm in the middle of it. So what I work on doing diligently is doing a lot of my work when the children are at school or later in the night where it's quiet when I know everybody's asleep. So I put it in my calendar, in my planner. I wrote in my planner exactly, what times are best for me to sit down and actually work on my goals and be in a peaceful environment because the chaos will definitely continue to distract you. You're going to stop doing what you were doing and then you're going to walk away and then you're going to start doing something differently because the fact your environment wasn't peaceful enough for you to continue to stay on task. So remember that, stay on task. What I'm going to be changing going forward, I want to be real with y'all. Everything did not go smooth. I slipped in a couple of places. And I told you, I live in an environment where there are a lot of children. So I got distracted some of the time, especially when the children were out of school. because it's like, it doesn't matter what time of day I tried to schedule my planning, there were children everywhere and there was a lot of noise and commotion. So I wasn't working on doing too much in a day sometimes because I felt burnt out. I would sporadically do stuff. I wasn't even following my plan some days. I would say like maybe 2 or 3 of the days, I wasn't following my plan. I was just doing stuff sporadically just to catch that quick, peaceful moment. But when the chaos started, I put everything down. I realized I needed to simplify my daily checklist, figure out what was more achievable so I don't get overwhelmed. Because doing that, having a chaotic environment can definitely cause you to get overwhelmed because you're trying to get so much stuff down, or you're trying to rewire your brain to ignore the environment. But sometimes it's impossible. So you just have to change your schedule. I'm definitely shifting my risings because the past couple of days, I've had a few issues of going to sleep. And that's not like me. I have a specific bedtime hour that I try to heed to, that I work on heeding to. I'm working on trying on my vocabulary, y'all. Y'all gotta excuse me. So usually I do my nighttime routine of my facial, I do my mirror work, I do my gratitude journaling, and then, of course, I do my meditation and my prayer. It winds my body down so that once I reach my bedroom, I'm out as soon as my head hit the pillow. But the past couple of days, it has not been that easy. My mind has been like going so many different areas. And even after my nighttime routine, I'm still, I guess, awake. So it was causing me to not go to sleep at the desired time, or not to fall asleep as soon as I hit the bed. So I said, okay, let's change some stuff. So that's another thing that I'm changing moving forward. Concentrating on my nighttime routine and as well as my rising routine. Because my rising, I usually get up between 6 and 6:30. So I have to make sure in between that time, I'm gradually getting up, instead of just hopping up out of bed because I feel like I'm late. I want to just gradually wake up so that my body does it naturally. All right, so if you're watching this and you're trying to keep on track with your lock-in goals, whether it's health, business, or your personal life, no, it does not have to be perfect. I'm part of an amazing organization called Nu Kappa Chi Sorority Incorporated, where our motto is, imperfection is perfection. What we work on is not getting things so perfect that we get overwhelmed. Celebrate the small wins and remember that any type of progress is still part of the goal. To adjust when you need to. Don't look for perfection. Look for progress. That's going to help you move forward. So, this is my week 1 recap of the Great Lock-In of 2025. And again, I'm still excited, y'all, because it's been a journey. So far, these 7 days has been a journey, but I've been enjoying them. Next week, we're going to discuss how these changes are working and what new challenges that have popped up. If this inspired you, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. Let me know what you're locking in on this year. Until next time, remember, you are worthy, you are powerful, and your wellness is a non-negotiable. Have an amazing day.